Hello, my name is Cynthia Valdes and this is my contributions to the bringing personalization to the Nextcloud Linux client. As you can see here, we can start with Nextcloud system tray, where I show my main two contributions, which is the user buttons personal tab and the customization window. The user buttons personal tab is just 4 max buttons that have embedded links and button names that will take you to specific links from those buttons. All these button links are in this theme are just the default Nextcloud theme. Next, this is the customization window. As you can see here, we have the user buttons theme and the login theme with radio buttons. This is the add user button coming from the create button. That window will specifically add any user buttons and button links to the personal tab. Now these are all the 9 files. This is the customization window UI file. This is the add button UI file. And this is the personal tab UI file. And here we have the add button window C++ file with its header file. We have the customization window C++ file also with its header file. And we have the personal tab C++ file with its header file. All these 9 files communicate with each other to create the entire contributed feature. So now let's get to the actual demo of the software. Here in the customization window, you can press the FIU theme radio button, which will set an FIU button theme for the user buttons personal tab. This personal FIU user themes are included with 4 embedded links that include any links that any FIU student could use for resources or any other student resources. This gives a very easy and personal efficiency to the user experience for someone using Nextcloud, since all they have to do is just go into the system tray, go into the user buttons personal tab, and click on any link that they might need. Now if we click the beige theme, let's say, it will say please create buttons to use this theme, since the only way the beige, dark, and blue themes are going to work is if there's actual user buttons to have them. So let's add one. This is just a normal Google button. You can name it whatever you'd like, but I named it Google for simplicity's sake. I put in google.com as the link, and when we go to the user buttons personal tab, and now we have one button called Google, and when we click on it, it will take us directly to google.com, which is the link we gave it. Now let's add another one. Now we can add YouTube with the link for youtube.com. Now there will be 2 buttons, now with the added YouTube button. This will take us directly to youtube.com. We can now actually implement a theme. So now we have the beige theme set, and it changes the entire personal tab to the beige theme. We can do the dark theme, which does the dark theme for the personal tab, and we can do the blue theme, which implements the blue theme to the personal tab. Now let's try to create 2 more buttons until we get to the maximum number of buttons. So we can now just implement a normal canvas button. Let's just have canvas.com. We go to user buttons. There's a third button. Now we can go straight to the link given. Let's add one more. We can do the normal FIU welcome page. So fiu.edu. And this will take us directly to FIU. Now let's say we just try to put an ad without putting anything into button name or button link. We will get an issue of just formatting error, telling the user please put in the right format. So the user puts in a test button, let's say, and they want to put in Google again. They want to put in a fifth button now. Now it will say the minimum number of buttons is 1, the maximum number of buttons is 4. When we go back to the personal tab, the button wasn't added and we still have the same stuff we had before. Now, let's say we want to go back to the FIU theme because we want the FIU links. We can easily get them with just the normal radio button, but if you go back to a normal theme, it will save your buttons from before. Now, if you want to just go back to normal default Nextcloud, you can just pick reset and it will reset your user buttons. Now here, I will talk about the ad account page, which was also a part of my feature, where it was just personalizing the aesthetics of the ad account page. The default ad account page, it looks exactly like this. And this is just showing off the different types of themes that I implemented into the ad account page. And this is the end of my demo. Thank you so much for staying with me. I'll send you off to the next person. Thank you.
All right, hello. So this is my demo where I recorded this on my laptop, but the laptop's not powerful enough to record it with a dubbing, so I'm dubbing it afterwards. So I start my screen recording software. I confirm on the top right that I have my key tracking software, and now I'm showing off the different themes. So default theme is just what Nextcloud comes with, and right after I set it to FIU, hit apply, and I show off the FIU theming on ad account. So from here, I close the window and I open it up again, right? So I can show off another feature about the customization window. I do Control M, which is the shortcuts. Right now you have personal tab, general settings, customization settings, and close window, and from these windows you can navigate to the other ones. Control Q closes any window that has these shortcuts on them. So now it'll open up customization settings again. And from here, you'll be able to Control C, you go to customization settings. Control P takes you to the personal tab, and then Control Q will quit it. So from here, you go back to the customization window. You make a normal button link so that you can have access to the individual links, and it's as easy as just adding a link. This is Cynthia's feature, so I'm going to brush over it a little bit. And from here, you can just take your shortcut straight to the personal window, Control 1, and it'll open up a link. So give it a second, and it opens up the website. Fast forward a little bit. I've got my two shortcuts here. Going to the personal tab, going to the general settings tab, and this quits the application. Move forward a little bit. This is where I select the theming and stuff. Let me move a little bit farther back. This is where the theming is selected. So right here, it'll just assign the default stuff, and if it checks, it'll check afterwards to see if you actually have the FIU combo box selected from the welcome page, and it'll set it here. This system can be implemented anywhere else you have PNGs being loaded from files. I had to alter the QMLs and stuff to actually account for this. Fast forward a little bit, and we make our way down to the personal buttons, the personal tabs, where on the way she set it up, she has 4 different tabs, but for each, it'll assign the shortcut every single time you change the amount of tabs you have. So shortcut 1, shortcut 2, shortcut 3, shortcut 4. No matter what, if you make 3 buttons and then access your shortcuts, it'll always be made.
Hello, my name is Geovani Rodriguez. Yeah, let's get it started. So the first problem that I faced, it was lacking enough documentation for developing basically the Nextcloud client for Linux on Linux systems, right? So what I did is I decided to create this guide. I will make sure to include the link to the guide so you guys can have access to it. Basically, I create a 5-step process where I'd guide you really close how to install everything, going from Qt Creator and the Qt development packages all the way down to library and everything. Basically, that's of course the first step. Then I'll show you how to clone the repository, how to prepare the build, how to open in Qt Creator, and how to build and run. As an optional step, I actually create a package installation script that you guys can just technically clone this repository and execute the script. This will do is that we'll do all step 1 using one command execution, which is really cool, and you guys will not have to be messing with the terminal. So this was the first step that I did for the project, and it was great. Actually, I have 3 other students that use it to get started, and it's something that we really wanted to bring knowledge about Linux in general, and even more if it's for the Nextcloud client. Then I did focus in a lot in adding a few featurization. For next I focused on the systems tray. Here I added 3 more features. So the first one, it was add an account. So this is option that you got first time when you have not logged in into any account. Once that you log in, this option will be out. So what I did, it was to do this permanent option, the system tray, since most of the time, at least for me personally, I find to add, I like to add a few servers at the same time. So this option, this apparently was a little bit annoying for me. So I just make it and I just made this permanent option, and I add 2 report issue options. Once I and let me show you. So once that you add, you will have the option to add as many servers as you need to add here. Another option that I add here was a report an issue. This technically, once click, you will guys actually will be linked to the specific GitHub page for issues. On here, you guys will be able to report any issue that you're facing with Nextcloud client, or take a look if your issue it's being reported and maybe there's a solution going on for that. It's actually extremely useful since most of the time I just go in any issue that I have, I just automatically respond it here, and I don't have to go to the website to the GitHub and then take a look. You have that option automatically here. So those were my 2 additions to the system trade options. Then I added a new feature here on the general settings here, one for documentation support and the other for customer service content. I believe that these are really great options to have in your setting options, since there's a lot of time when you specifically need any type of documentation, so you can actually click and you will be linked to here. Then you will be able to ask the admin manual, user manual, developer manual, depending on the one that you're looking for. That you will be able to see a lot of stuff here, a lot of official documentation for Nextcloud. Another option that I had here was the customer service contact. If you are a paying person that use Nextcloud and you need to get in contact with customer service, this is actually a great way to do it. They will take 2-3 days to respond. You put down your information, forget your problem, and they will get back to you. I add these 2 options to the Nextcloud setting, general settings, and it works great for me indeed. So another feature that I had besides that, it was that I create the customization files for this option here. So in this option, Alejandro and Cynthia, they work and they implement the customization features, changing login theme and user buttons. But for this, we really wanted to have a standalone window rather than implementing an existing window. So I went on and I went to CRC and then to the GUI file, and I create 3 standalones, new windows on it. This is actually pretty complex since there is an order I have to do. First, you have to create a customization window, C++. Usually a CPP file usually contain the implementation behavior for widget and other functionalities. Then I had to create the H file, which file often include the definition of a widget class and its members such and signal slot. And then finally you create the UI file. Then when you create those 3 files, you have to go to a CMake and make this file as a standalone executable window. So you guys are able to implement as many features as you want, and you guys are able to call this window for a brand new one like system tray. So I was the one who created this window here. I was the one to make sure that implementation was correctly done and the window were working. So then later on, Alejandro and Cynthia came and did all the implementation inside. All right. So besides that, I really wanted to have something that I really consider as really important, that it's nautilus implementation. Let me give you a quick breakdown. So nautilus is the file explorer for Ubuntu in this case. So I really wanted to have any kind of implementation with the Nextcloud client. So I added 2 main features here. The first one, it was a copy to Nextcloud and move to Nextcloud. I actually added the option, and you are actually able to select the folder that you want. Usually in the past, you don't have these options here. So if you want to copy, you just have to copy, go to your Nextcloud folder and then paste it here. And if you want to copy to a specific one, go neutral here. So for this option, you have the automatic function to copy and paste directly from a right click. And another option that I added, it was generate a Nextcloud share link. This one is actually handy since this option is exclusive for the web client. So if you want to create a shareable link for a specific file, you have to go to a web client, log in, and take a look and everything, and and generate from the website. On here, you have the option to generate the Nextcloud share link directly from here. Actually, once I click it, we create the link, and then you all guys are actually able to share the link with whoever you want to share it, or even to it. It's actually pretty comfortable here. So last but not least, and something that I consider really important here. So how it works for those 2 new options for the Nextcloud implementation for Nautilus, it's with something that is called Nautilus extension. So how this works, you have to go to this location here, local, share, Nautilus Python section, and you actually create 2 new Python files with the extensions that you wanted to implement. Those extensions are implemented, you start Nautilus, and you will be ready to go. So the last step for me, it was to make those 2 extensions executable from the first time that you install Nextcloud. So what I did was I went to the main folder, and there's a folder called Share Integration. Then you can go Nautilus here. How it works is that once that you install Nextcloud, it will identify the OS you're using. If you're using Windows, it will do a challenge direction for Windows. If you're using Mac OS, the same. There's Dolphin too. But if you're using Linux, most likely you will be using Nautilus. So how it works is that I actually came here, paste my 2 brand new files here, and I create a script. So this script will actually paste these 2 files into a specific location that we needed, and that's it. And then I put this executable for the CMake list. So, in other words, you guys have up the options where you installing Nextcloud client, and you guys won't have any problem, and we'll have to do anything. Everything will happen in the background. So quick recapitulation here for me. So one, problem number 1 for me was lack of the installation guide for the Nextcloud client. So I create a guide that will guide you as a developer, how to open and install it. Then I believe that we had limited system tray functionalities, so I did include a few system tray options like report issue and the add account making a user present option here, permanent person option. Then I believe that general setups we were lacking in a few limitations. So then I went and I add these 2 options on the general setting. Then I went and I did a few implementation for Nautilus where I added two main options. The first one it was copy Nextcloud and move to Nextcloud. Again, you could select if you want a specific folder for that and direct access to copy or move to Nextcloud files. And then I added a general Nextcloud share link here as another feature. And then I created a script that will automatically install that while you are installing Nextcloud as an standalone application. That was my implementation for the project. Thank you so much.